Hello, I'm going to show you how to turn 5 pounds of mushroom spawn into thousands of pounds of mushroom spawn. Come join me in the cast. So you can probably guess where I'm going with this. So this is Winecap mushrooms, Stropharia, rugoso, annulata. And so you can guess what I'm doing here. Like I said, I'm going to be taking this Winecap spawn and I'm going to show you how to inoculate a large pile of wood chips, which I've actually done. I did this about 2 weeks ago as an experiment to see if it would work. And I just turned it a little bit to look at it, and you can see there's tons of mycelium already in here. So I'm gonna sprinkle this in here so I can show you what I did, just so you can do this yourself. If you feel like you need a lot of this stuff and you have a lot of wood chips, you can basically inoculate the entire pile and then just move the wood chips all over your yard, wherever you want them, in your garden beds. I'm putting them around my grapevines, and that way I'll have these Winecap mushrooms just popping up everywhere. So you'll typically want to do this with a fresh pile of wood chips, and you can order these from most cities for free. I just told them I wanted some wood chips, and they dropped off a huge pile of them. And this pile's already shrunk by a decent amount. And what you'll basically do is you take some of this sawdust spawn, and you can see all the mycelium in there, and you just kind of sprinkle it in there on your fresh pile of wood chips. It's not really that complicated. And then I took my pitchfork and I just kind of worked the spawn into the first 4 or 5 inches of the pile. A lot easier to do 2 hands. So put you on that. I worked that in there really well. Turn it in just to make sure it's within the first 4 inches at the top. And then once you have that all mixed in, don't forget to wet it. You might as well add a few logs too. You're gonna take plastic. You can get these drop cloths at Walmart for like $3 or something. And you just cover the pile. Cover it up like so. And then typically I'll, throw some stuff on top. You can throw some logs on top to keep it from blowing around. But that will keep it from drying out, and it also keeps it from getting too cold. That traps an impressive amount of heat under the plastic. So it creates the perfect environment for growing that mycelium. So it won't fruit or anything during the winter, but you'll be able to colonize most of your pile probably within a month. So if you want to do that during winter, and then spring comes along, take the plastic off, and you'll have mushrooms popping up everywhere. Or you can distribute the wood chips all over your yard and you'll have mushrooms everywhere. So hopefully the companies that make the spawn don't get mad. But pretty easy way to just multiply your spawn. So buy a 5-pound bag and turn it into a, like I said, 1,000-pound pile or more. This is probably more than 1,000 pounds. All right, and then this is what it looks like once the plastic's all down. Nice and covered up. I put some wood chips on top and a couple logs just to keep it from moving around. Note that I'm in March, so I'm in zone 6, so it gets pretty cold at night still. This will make sure that my wood chips don't get super cold at night. They should stay a nice warm temperature, probably around 80 degrees. And then of course, once the daytime temperatures get above 70, you're gonna want to take this plastic off or poke a bunch of holes in it. This also maintains the humidity of those wood chips inside that pile, just so that they're very friendly for the colonization of fungus. Specifically, hopefully what I colonized it with, but of course there'll be probably other things colonizing this pile. They're not sterilized, and that's okay. So Winecap mushrooms are really good at outcompeting bacteria and other microorganisms. So I should get a pretty good colonization. And then of course I'll be spreading this mulch all around my property, all throughout my vineyard that I have over here. And my orchard, I have a number of trees I'm gonna be putting this around. So hopefully I'll be having a nice crop of Winecaps coming up here in a year or so. You gotta give it some time just for the mycelium to completely colonize the substrate before it'll actually fruit. It's interesting the way fungus works. I mean, in a last effort to survive after it completely colonizes and consumes most of its food, that's when it fruits out. So the bigger your pile is, the longer it's going to take to be completely colonized. So if you want to get fruit quick, then you'll want smaller mushroom beds. So hope this helps you to expand your bag of mushroom spawn. Get a nice crop of mushrooms. Thanks for joining me in the chaos.